Woke up this morning and the adductors were still pretty sore, but by the end of this afternoon and this day, the soreness in the adductors is virtually gone. So I'll have another day of recovery tomorrow, and then I'll come in fresh Monday. Man. The entire body is kind of fatigued. I just finished up a 4-mile run for today. And the headache, kind of fighting a headache again. I really haven't had one all of today. But then I finished the run and was doing some lunges on the way back home, some like ATG split squats. And I started getting a headache then. And it just came back. I had a little bit of one yesterday, and it seemed to kind of come and go throughout the day. Oh boy. So I've done a little bit of stretching today. Took a 20-pound dumbbell, rolled it up and down my quads, stood it up on its end, and just kind of worked it over some sore spots. Then me and my dad had went shed hunting. If you don't know what that is, deer shed their antlers every year and they regrow them every summer. So shed hunting is basically going on a hike and looking for deer antlers that the bucks have shed. Ended up finding 3 today, and this is my first shed hunt of the year, so that's pretty good. Last year I shed hunted and didn't find anything until halfway through turkey season. I ended up finding 4 in one day. But anyways, so I hiked probably 2.5 hours earlier today, up and down hillsides and whatnot. And then came home, kind of relaxed for a little bit. Then went for a 4-mile run. It was slow. I think the first one was like a 9:48. The second mile was like low 10s. Third mile was like a 10:30. And then I think the 4th mile was a 10-minute flat. I gotta say, my love for running grows with every run that I go on. It's dark tonight. I'm running down straight road. There's not any cars driving by. I live on a dead end road. It's night. There's a street light here and there. As I'm running through this lonely road, I run past these street lights and I watch my shadow glide across the ditch bank. I look out into the field and watch the deer run through these fields. I look up at the sky. It's a clear night, clear skies, starry night. I look up ahead at the next street light. There's like wisps of fog rolling through. Just a very, very beautiful run. And I try not to take that for granted. It's a beautiful thing, really. And I seem to love that and cherish it more every time I go out. Running is, it's freeing from everything else. Running, let me do another set first. as I'm running past these houses on my road, look inside and I see the TVs on in the living rooms, and I can't help but think, everybody is consuming, always consuming, sitting down watching TV, on their phones, watching YouTube or scrolling through social media, maybe sitting at the table and eating. And I try not to like put myself above people. But as I'm out there running the miles late at night, look inside and see everybody else watching TV. There's not a whole lot of consuming going on out there on that road. It's more so enduring. I can feel the pain and the discomfort in every step. Throat gets parched. I can feel the strain on the calves. But there's like nothing to think about out there. I don't run with music. But as I'm out there running, just kind of going through my thoughts or whatever, it always takes me back to, this is what life is. This is the most alive that I'll ever feel, because there's no input, there's no distractions, there's I'm not taking anything in. It's kind of just you pushing your body. I don't know, I wish I had better words to kind of take you guys through those runs with me. I wish more people could run. Headache, man, headache. Oh boy. Yeah, man, it's you get out there and there's no distractions. Like I said, it's peaceful. I love running at night. I'm kind of ready for the summertime runs. So when I go run at 6:30, 7 o'clock, it'll still be kind of daylight outside. I'm looking forward to running up the hills in the heat and sun beaming down on you. I'm looking forward to that. But at the same time, there's a degree of solitude that can't really be replicated during the summer. It seems to be a lot more distractions in the summer. You got bugs swarming you, and it's humid, and you're pouring sweat, and the enduring factor is probably a lot higher during the summer. But on like a night like tonight, ran in shorts and a hoodie, and it's a cruising run. I wasn't pushing real hard, but it was just me out there. It's hard to find much better than that. I think more people need to put down the phones and the TVs and the fork and just go out for a good peaceful run. Kind of find who you are. I don't know. So something I was thinking about on that run is you should train for war. I don't necessarily mean that in a literal sense, but as a man, feels kind of natural to be as physically capable as possible. And so, you know, that means I should be able to go run a few miles, should be able to run up a hill. I don't necessarily want to compete with the elite runners, because to compete with the elite runners, you know, you have to train like an elite runner, and that means dedicating a lot of time to that. But I want to, I think it's for the average person, it's probably in their best interest to chase this idea of a hybrid athlete. You know, you can run, you're in good cardio shape, you can hold your own in the weight room. You know, that's always been my biggest thing is if I show up to a track, I want to, you know, stay with the pack. I want to, you know, be able to go out on these lonely roads and hold my own against proficient runners. But if you take those proficient runners and you bring them into the weight room, oftentimes more than not, you know, they're not very capable in the weight room. And so I like to be the best of both worlds and try to be as, you know, well-rounded as possible. Because a lot of times, if you take the strongest guys in the gym, you guys can barely run a mile, and you know, that's just as, you know, pitiful as anything else. Being 250 pounds of muscle, it's not going to get you very far in a real life scenario. Not very practical. But back to the, you know, situation of being prepared for war. You know, as a hunter, I always like to look back on like primitive times. I do a lot of bow hunting myself, but you know, back in the day, people used to run down animals until they couldn't run anymore. It's like what the human body was designed to do was, you know, outlast anything else out there. You know, we're not faster than anything else, any predators, or really any prey for that matter. We don't have claws, we don't have, you know, sharp teeth. We are not designed to kill with what we've got here. You know, if you throw us into the wilderness and you send a bunch of predators our way, 9 times out of 10, you know, we're not going to be the one walking away from that. So the way we were designed to hunt is, you know, we chased down deer until they could not run anymore. You know, we chased things down until they died from exhaustion. And, you know, I always look back at, you know, times like that, and I'm like, you know, those people were living, man. To be in that kind of like shape, to run for days at a time. And then, you know, I look back over older times, you know, like what if you were a Roman soldier, you were a gladiator, and you got thrown into a battlefield. You know, you're carrying around 25, 30 pounds of armor with you. You've got a 3 or 4 foot sword on your side, and you better hope you can outrun some people, but at the same time, you know, if it comes hand to hand, you better hope you can out wrestle somebody. It's just the idea of being as like physically capable as possible is kind of attractive to me. You know, it's like what I want for myself. I've bounced back and forth between phases where I'm a lot more proficient runner, but during those times I come into the weight room and I'm not very proficient, and it's kind of discouraging to load up X amount of weight on my back and only be able to do 2 reps when it used to be able to, be took for like 10 reps. But at the same time, I've had periods where I'm very, very proficient for lifting, carrying around a lot more muscle mass, and during those times, I'm usually not running much, and once I do get out there and run, a mile feels like an eternity. The form is terrible. I feel heavy on my feet and not very smooth. And I certainly couldn't chase down a deer in that kind of shape. So it's like, if I was in the primitive times, I want to be able to, outrun a deer. I want to be able to run that thing up a mountain and, still have the strength to, wrestle around up at the top of that hill. I don't know, man. I look back at past times and things seem to be a lot harder for people. I look at times now and we don't have to leave the couch to go get food. We can have cooked food delivered to our door. We can have groceries delivered to our door. To be real with you, the modern day person could get by without ever leaving their home. I think people have gotten a lot softer because of things like that too. Everybody likes to think of themselves as a savage athlete and somebody who gets after it. But the truth is, if you were thrown into time 200 years ago, 300 years ago, or 1,000, 2,000 years ago, you'd be in bad shape, brother. Definitely wouldn't be as savage as you think you are. I'll tell you that. I follow Cameron Hanes on social media. He's like a very well-known bow hunter, and I kind of take his philosophies from hunting and apply it to my life as well. And as a hunter, we sort of owe it to the animals to be in the best shape possible. And I guess part of that, wanting to be at peak human performance, is sort of like primal and like hunting desire of mine. Because I need to have the strength in my legs to carry all this gear up and down mountains. I need to have the strength to drag a deer way up a hill to get it out of a valley. I pack a stand in my bow. I've got to have the strength to make the last 100-yard crawl and still be able to make a proficient shot at the end of that hunt. But at the same time, I've got to have the endurance to carry those things for miles and miles. I've got to have the mental fortitude to forego the nastiest conditions. I don't know, man. I've been shooting my bow today, and I'm ready for deer season to roll back around again. Hunting is breathes breathe some fresh air into the soul. I don't know. I like the idea of like peak human performance, and I personally, really strive for that. My head's hurting. Oh boy. But anyways, I'm gonna take this for a few more sets of 10, and then take 135 for a set of 10, and I reckon probably take a shower and go to bed after that. I had planned to do some deadlifting today, but to be honest, I kind of failed to be very productive this morning. I slept in till probably 9:30ish, and then I got up. I cooked. I made some breakfast, if you want to call it breakfast. I made some breakfast, and then kind of laid around and took it easy. Did some stretching during that time, took a shower, all that good stuff. Then I ate again and shot my bow for a good 45 minutes to an hour, and then me and my dad had went shed hunting. We left around 2:30. And then we were out in the woods for 2.5 hours. And then I got home, ate something small, relaxed for a little bit longer, and then went for the 4-mile run. And now that the headache's back, I'm just not there for the deadlifting. So with that being said, I'm gonna finish this stuff up and get into bed. So I appreciate you guys watching if you've made it this far. Catch you guys tomorrow.